Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Hello.
hey,
Hello.
hi.
My name is Natalie Nedry, and I am a creative marketing manager at Miro. And I'm excited to kick off our next session with psychologist and facilitator Nina Pozderec and business mentor at Apple Developer Academy, Indra Kusuma. And they will share the meaningful ways they've learned to improve team dynamics through Miro templates. So we'll also hear real life examples that demonstrate why feedback, conflict resolution, and psychological safety are essential for happy and effective work. So Nina and Indra, please take it away.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you for the introduction. Indra, maybe we could start sharing our screen and show the audience what we have prepared. And in
Yeah.
the meantime, I will introduce myself and then Indra will take the stage. So like Natalie said, I'm a psychologist, I'm a scrum master also, of course, workshopper, Miro lover, and I'm a self-management expert. And that doesn't mean that I know how to manage myself, yes, of course, but my main mission is to help companies transform or reorganize from a traditional hierarchical top-down structures into collaborative, cross-functional, self-managed teams. So psychological safety is the essence of collaboration, and we will look into it. So Indra, tell us about
Yeah.
yourself a bit more.
Thank you, Nina. So, aligned with Nina, actually, I'm also a business mentor, educator, and also facilitator. I like walking in the morning to fresh up my mind, and of course, I need to have a coffee 2 times a day. And I have two cute kids, boy and girls, who love to dance every day. So let's get it on.
Okay, awesome. So me and Indra prepared like a workshop that's full of templates that you can use in order to boost psychological safety or create it or maintain it. But let's have, like always, we have like a checking question. So Indra, we will also share the link. We would like to ask our Miro host to help us with that. And let's go, Indra. The stage is yours.
Yeah. So, I think from Miro team already shared the link on the chat. So we have a check-in question. There is a question that always we ask in our first thought. When you heard our word of team, what are your first thought? Please write down in the sticky notes and just speak out what is your top of mind. Just put it there. We have 2 minutes to run it on.
Yeah, let's see what your thoughts are on the team, because you can work in a high performing team where you feel good or not. So, what are your thoughts when you hear a word team? What do you think about?
Yep.
Oh, we have a shy audience right now. Okay, so maybe I can comment a bit about it. Um, when I hear a word team, I think about feedback. I think about conflicts. I think about how it's difficult to have a meaningful conversation and how it's all about trust. So I worked in teams where I felt that I belonged. I worked in teams where I felt that I didn't belong at all. And it matters. It matters because it brings out the creativity if we feel safe, and it brings out the problem solving and decision making is better. But okay, let's move on. Maybe if we don't have anything here, any people want to share their thoughts, let's maybe wait a couple of minutes.
Yeah. I think they just joining and
Yeah.
you can start writing down there. All right.
Okay. Awesome.
Collaboration, alignment. Oops.
Wiser together we have here. relying on each other. Yes. What else? What else do
Working
you think?
together, yeah. Wiser together. Support. Awesome. All right. I think while writing, everyone's writing their thoughts in the sticky notes. Maybe Nina, you want to share a bit about our main topic today? It's
Yes, of
about
course.
psychological safety. The stage
Yes.
is yours.
So psychological safety is not something that's new. I know it's trendy. I know that everybody's talking about, but this is something that we psychologists have been talking about it from, I don't know, the 60s. It was not called psychological safety before, but it was called, I don't know, organizational safety and so on. But the main topic is that psychological safety is a key component of a healthy team dynamics. That means that I feel safe. That's a belief that we share in a team, that I can be authentic, I can be who I am, and that there's no risk or like interpersonal risk of negative consequences. To put it in straight words, so I can be myself, I can have my own opinion, even though if, I don't know, Natalie or Indra have the opposite one, but I know that they won't exclude me. So this is a key component of a healthy work environment and team dynamics, but it's easier said than done. So psychological safety is really closely tied to effective teamwork. It encourages open communication, active listening, and of course, it challenges the status quo and helps us actually be creative and innovative. But we have a couple of different stages of psychological safety. Um, that means that we know inclusion, learner, collaborator, and challenger. In the inclusion phase, this is the first phase. A lot of teams that just started to work together, they don't know each other yet. They can challenge right now. So the first stage is about inclusion. I feel valued. I feel that I'm treated fairly. I can share my experience. I can include others. But I'm not willing, for example, to share my mistakes yet because I don't know you, I don't trust you enough. Then we have the learner stage when it's about mistakes, it's about knowledge, it's about seeking knowledge. Then we have the collaborator, which means that I can help with the problem solving, I can help with decision making. This is a team effort now, it's not an individual one. And here we have like the innovation breakthrough. When we are in the challenger stage, we are speaking up. We are expressing ideas that challenge the status quo. So why are we doing this the same way that we have done? We can do it differently. So we are challenging the norm. So let's deep dive into each stage. And Indra,
Yep.
let's see about inclusion.
So that's the four phase of the skill safety. The first phase actually inclusion, which mentioned by Nina before. So basically, inclusion is including everyone in the groups. You can have a prompt like, I feel that I belong to the group. I feel safe in this group, and then being accepted as I am, or being respected or valued, or your opinion, perspective, knowledge is matter, and I can trust my team, which is this is the most fundamental things that building trust within teams members is important aspect on building the psychological safety. So that's why social exchange, inclusion in exchange for human status, and the absence of harms is the key point of this stage. So
All
to
right.
start with, we have several activity, but we can start first. There is a concept we call circle of trust, which is in here. You will have, you can actually modify the circles according to what you want to know or shown to the others. So I invite you everyone to this board. Let's try to exploring this place. So for example, I put my picture here, and then you can share the promise. What do you like? For me, I love the beach and smell of the sea. That's why I put that picture in there. And then, where are you come from? I'm from Indonesia. I put the emoticon of the flags in there, and what do you dislike. Sometimes we need to discover what kind of a preference that probably negative part, so you can avoid and you can prevent something that will might harms or hurt their feelings. So in this case, I don't like mosquito, so just put a image in there, emoticons or emoticon. So please everyone, you have a time for putting there your picture, everything that you love, and then where I come from, and also what you dislike. I think we have times.
Yeah.
Nina, can we
Yes.
set that?
Let's set it to 2 minutes. I just wanted to say, if you're a
Okay.
first time Miro user, you don't have to upload the picture, even though it's really, really easy. But you can just, add a sticky note, or I will put here a couple of sticky notes, so you can just add your name. The first thing is that I can't collaborate with people, and I can't challenge them if I don't know you. So I know we are talking about happy work, but happy work starts with personal information. It starts with what we like, what we have in common. So that's why ice melters are very important. That's why checking questions are very important. We see that we have a lot of things in common. Even, for example, we have in common that, I don't know, we don't like chocolate, or that we love to go hiking. This is something that we can connect on a really human level. And
Mhm.
this is really important before we go to any feedback or conflict transformation. So let's see who we have here, Indra.
Yeah, I think we have a lot here. I know Tim. Hi, Tim Nolan. I think this is an important aspect as well. When we want to build a trust, we need to know each other first. So that's why you need to have a kind of information that probably for you is comfortable to share. So that's why we use this prompt, just of a simple prompt to help you to navigate what what kind of this person, do, do they like or they dislike, to help you to understand better.
Yes. And it's also, this is just one of the exercises. You don't have to use this one. If you just show the rest of them, we put a couple of templates that we use in our sessions when we collaborate. For example, in the dailies where I have it, we have a lot of ice melters that do the same. It's just a bit more quicker. So use it wisely. And what you have to be prepared for, okay, let's see who we have here. What you have to be prepared for is that in ice melters, for example, don't say share something that nobody knows. Nobody wants to do that. You'll make people uncomfortable. So the level of what I want to share has to be in the participants. So that's why I love the circle of trust, or the love bomb, where we share the love. For example, what we love about Indra or Natalie, or
Mm,
anybody else in the team. This is like my favorite exercise. We do it constantly, if not weekly. We do it in every retrospectives, and this is something that really brings the spark in the eyes, because it's nice to hear that people are great for it. It's nice to hear that thank you for helping me, or something like that.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a several template that you can check it later, but this method that we collecting here, actually this part is for helping you to build inclusion within the team. So there is another one here, that spectrum checkout or check-in. You can use it and anytime when you want to start or the end of the session. And then maybe we moving forward, Nina, to the next phase.
Yes. So the next phase is the learner phase. That doesn't mean that the inclusion doesn't exist anymore. I need the inclusion as a base, and then the next step is the learner. So in this phase, I, as a team member, feel that I can ask questions, I can be curious, I can really make mistakes. I can admit, hi, I'm not the best, I don't know anything. Even though, I don't know, I'm a Miro expert, that doesn't mean that I'm perfect. I still can make mistakes, because we need to make mistakes in order to learn. Failing is just a step to getting better. And making a mistake is a part of learning. It's a part how we as people learn, and I'm okay with asking for help. So I don't know how to solve this. I don't know how to do this. I don't know. This is a really powerful statement. So here we are talking about the social exchange that we have. I exchange the encouragement to learn in exchange to engagement to learn. So what I'm talking here is about intrinsic motivation. And this is something very powerful. This is connected to engagement, which we know is a record low in employees. So think about it, how you support it, and how it's connected to psychological safety. And how can we do that? How can we use Miro in order to boost the learner phase? And here we have another exercise. So if we can invite everybody to come here and just let's try something out. This is
I
something
love
that
this one.
this is something that we really do, like in almost every company that I help transform. We have, okay,
Yep.
F up Fridays, or we have oopsies Tuesdays, and it's all about sharing mistakes. So I would really, really like to invite all the participants. What mistakes have you made in the last week? Was it something that you would like to share? It can be something small. We always start small. Maybe we can start with something trivial, but it's important to start. So because I'm the facilitator and Indra is the facilitator, I will share my mistakes that I did. So last week I had a workshop for a client, and actually what happened was that I forgot to lock all the boards, and it got copied and all messed up, and I really, really had to improvise. But that's something that happens. That's something that I learned. Now I double check everything. Is it locked? Is it locked? Just the board owner can lock it, and so. And making mistakes doesn't mean, or sharing them doesn't mean that we are less competent. It means just that we're human.
How come it's
Okay.
similar to me? Yesterday I was having a workshop and I forgot to lock the board and it's going everywhere. But it's quite fun because it become a smelter as well because everyone scramble, but they still enjoy it. Whatever, yes, that's the key point. We need to well prepare before we launch the access to the board.
Yeah. So, and for all these inspiring facilitators out here, please make as many mistakes as you can, because it just means that you will learn faster. Yes, it's a bit awkward if you do it in front of a client, but trust me, a lot of clients understand and they appreciate it. So, do we have anyone here that wants to share their mistakes? Is anybody brave enough, or are we not safe enough to be in the learner phase in this workshop? Let's see.
I will try bring everyone again. Maybe while waiting here, maybe Nina, you can explain a bit
Yeah.
the other formats that probably helping the learners face.
Yeah. So while I'm very curious to see what kind of mistakes you've made, and I hope you did, because if you didn't, that means that you didn't learn anything. The other things that we use is, for example, I embed sharing mistakes into retrospectives. So here, of course, we have, what worked well, what do we like, what can do we better, but we also have it, what have you tried, what mistakes did you make, where did you risk? And this is something that we see is very important in the startup community. Making mistakes, of course, there are limits, and so should be like a KPI of how innovative or how risk-taking are we. Then we have like what I want to learn. So each team member can write down on their own board what they want to learn in the next 3 months, how they will learn it, and who can help them about it. And then we have, for example, the learning quadrant, which is very well known. It's a framework by Amy Edmondson to measure and to map so the current participant psychological safety, and actually to identify their motivation and accountability. So these are different exercises that you can use in order to boost the learner phase. So let's see the mistakes. I see people writing, which is awesome. I will just see a few. Miscommunicated with our team's copywriter. I feel you. I understand you. I forgot to attend a meeting with my boss. Oof, yeah. Using definitions of data for the wrong period of time. I delivered the wrong content. Tried to load Miroverse's board in browser. Yeah. I replied to a post based on wrong assumptions. That happens a lot. So there could be a whole workshop about biases and assumptions we have, but we don't have too much time for that. Maybe next time. Somebody lost a library book and not sleeping enough the night before an important meeting. I hear you here. I slept 4 hours today. So because I was in a conference. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Moving next.
So let's go now to the next stage. And this is the collaborator stage. So again, this means that I feel included. I feel that I can learn. And now I also feel that I can contribute and I can actively engage in the problem solving that we have. It's not so much about seeking knowledge individually, it's about collective decision making. And when I say collective, I'm not talking about consensus. I can talk about, advice seeking, but I can contribute to the decision making. And I really rely on my coworkers, on their knowledge and their expertise. What does that mean? That means that it's okay if I don't know something. I don't even have to learn because I have Natalie and Indra here who know that. So I rely on them, on their advice in order to be better. And here what happens is that conflicts become like the positive aspects. They're a part of development and they're approached constructively. So if you don't have conflicts at work in your team, that means that you have an artificial harmony. That means that somebody's keeping quiet. And that doesn't help you with innovativeness. So here we have a social exchange, autonomy and accountability in exchange for results. Here we're talking about performance. I am autonomous, I am accountable, I'm responsible. So you don't have autonomy. Having autonomy doesn't mean that I can do whatever I want. Having autonomy means that I'm accountable to my team to deliver. Quite different. So here we have an exercise that's called Help Me Out. And me and Indra would like to ask you to help us out. This is like a we have a problem question, or we have a problem statement. It's how you write it down. So I would like to ask our participants who have a lot of knowledge to help us out, to help me and Indra out. So how can you help us? Please give us advice. How can we design a vision board for a company that's 100% remote, that has a lot of employees, they're in different time zones, but we want to ensure that everybody is heard and that everybody has equal opportunity to share and vote on ideas. So let's take 2 minutes and see what you will come up with. I'm very curious to hear. I see that people are already writing, which is awesome. Okay, so here we have reduce load, sync delays. Okay, awesome, thank you. Record a video asking for feedback and send to folks and add feedback asynchronously. Awesome, thank you. And I see that people are still writing. So, this really helps. There's a lot of knowledge in the world. You don't have to do everything by yourself. We're a community, so let's help each other out like we do in Miro. Ask for RDs to be submitted ahead of time. Small breakout rooms for getting input first. Yes. Create a board with not too many big elements. Okay, awesome. Asynchronous, awesome. Pre-recorded videos, yeah. I see a lot of people with good ideas. So you already know a lot and already helped us. Separate the Miro board into multiple identical sections. Assign folks to those sections before the meeting starts. Ensure participants are experienced with Miro. Yeah, great. Indra, a lot of ideas, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
is
love
really
it.
awesome.
I
Well,
really love it.
yes, everyone is engaged now. So
Yeah. Just
don't
let's
forget,
yeah,
we have
just
also have a Miro talk track. I think that's also one of the things that helping you guys to do asynchronous.
yes.
Yes. Mm.
And also, again, help me out is just one of the templates. The rest are, you probably know, liberating structures. So we have concentric consensus here, you know, 1, 2 for all. Yes, of course, it can be done in online. Okay. And we have here make space for feedback, which is very important. So what I would say here is when you start with feedback culture, start with praise. So use like brain friendly feedback and use it for good things first before you go to uncomfortable. And then we have, of course, liberating structures, which is the trees. What's preventing us from making the progress? And let's hop on to the final, and that's the challenger. So
Yes. So the last stages is challenger. So in this part, actually, you will reflect that what you feel the challenge for you to challenge the status quo in your team, or you can provide constructive feedback, and then you can express the doubt in the way things are done, or you can speak up or expose the problems, and it make things better, and you don't have hesitation to speak out what could be better. So in this uh, case, you are no boundaries to push back again, but you are more freely to express what you had in mind or in your heart. And the social exchange is the air cover in exchange for candor. So you are become more open, and you can contribute more to the team. So one of the method that we can use is a ladder of inference. You try to constructing your thinking into what, so what, and know what. So this is helping you to summarize what you had in mind. For example, like your your problem is I should prioritize the backlog, and then so what? I need to finish according to the timeline. And now what I need to do, I will implement Scrum in the next challenge planning. For example, this is the example. So you need to build up uh, into the ladder. So make it clear what is your action plan for the next. So this is helping you in the groups that you comes up with something more actionable together. So I think this is you guys can put your thoughts and in your sticky notes here. Meanwhile, I also encourage you to come here. Maybe you can try from what you had in the previous stages to bring the problem into this part and use this in ladder of inference to find out what can be done to solve your problem or solving that challenge. Okay, while waiting for everyone to put in the sticky notes, I think we can explore the other methods that you can use in the challenge. I think there is a devil advocates and anti ideas in here, so you can uh, challenge your anti ideas and put writing there for the other participant to get to know, to compare the ideas and the possible obstacles. And then we have the campfire, which is you can embrace everyone to contribute the ideas by reflecting and helping to classify the priority which have more positive impact internally. So in if you put the sticky notes here, it's helping you to find out which one you can prioritize to help internally. And maybe the external part in this sticky notes outside of the ring could be something that more helping outside of the organization or outside of your team. And then we also reflecting from liberating structure. There is a eco cycle planning, which is a model to power to move us beyond linear thinking. It's also helping you to mirror and look uh, what violent again, yeah, and then you help us to find the form of changes. So it's within the cycles you find out and have iteration what kind of our next action that really matters for your teams.
Yes.
Yep.
So these are the 4 stages. They are intertwined. But what's important is that this is not something that you do once and then, yay, we have high psychological safety.
Yep.
This is an ongoing task. So take care of it. And this is not just something that's a responsibility of a leader, that's a responsibility of the team. Because like it's with trust, it takes time to build it. But it can be a good event. For example, a new employee can mean that our psychological safety goes a bit low. So take care of it, be inspired, and make work more human-centric.
Totally
Amazing.
agree.
Thank you very much, Nina. Thank you very much, Indra. So many great examples. I hope to see them all in Miroverse. And yeah, thank you for sharing your expertise with us. And I want to say that let's keep this party going with our next session, where you learn how to make games in Miro with last year's Miroverse Choice Award winner in Fun and Games category. So let's see what he prepared for us.